to enter Algebra 1. Epic! What an intro, am I right? All right, so we're gonna review how to graph these quadratic functions. All right, I'm gonna do number 1 and number 2 for Tuesday, and then I'm gonna flip and do 2 more on the other side. So this particular page is actually 8 problems long, so don't be deceived. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5, 6, 7, 8 on the back. All right, so first thing is to identify what that transformation is. So remember, in the parentheses, it's opposite. So this is going to be going left 3 and then down 1, right? Left 3, down 1. This 2 out front, that's just a stretch. All right, so that means it's going to be getting skinnier like a rubber band, like it's getting stretched out. But for our purposes, we want to focus on what that vertex is to help us get things graphed. All right, so that vertex, since we're going left 3, down 1, is going to be at -3, -1. So when you get your X, Y chart going, -3, -1 is going to go in the middle. From here, you grab calculators. If you don't have a calculator like this on you, I'm sure there's things available out on the internet where you can type things in. If not, just watch here and I'll refresh you. You want to go to the table and you want to edit your function, and you'll type in the function that's given to you just as you see it on this paper. So you have 2 parentheses X, that X button's down here with all the different letters. X plus 3 squared, and then subtract 1. I always tell my table to start at this vertex, so I'm going to start it at -3. Step by 1, that just means what do you want your table to go by? I want it to go by ones, 1 at a time. And then calculate. So there you go. Notice your vertex, -3, -1 is right there. And then I'm going to write down 2 points that are under it, and then I'll scroll up and get 2 points that are above it. So we've got -2, 1. And -1, 7. And then scrolling up, we've got -4, 1. And -5, 7. Notice over here in the Y column that it's going to repeat. It's because it's a U shape that should fold in half on itself. So it's good to see these numbers repeating. Then we just do a quick graph of it, -5, 7. So to the left 5, up 7. To the left 4, up 1. To the left 3, down 1. Left 2, up 1. Left 1, up 7. There you go. There's your U. Today's practice is literally just the graphing. When we first learned this, we got into the detail of what's the axis of symmetry, what's the domain, what's the range, and all that fun stuff. I just wanted to practice graphing on this sheet today. All right, so keep it simple. We get you started on number 2. Again, you want to focus on what's inside. So this is going to be opposite. So we're going to go left 4, down 4. Just to review with you, this in front, that negative, that's going to flip it, right? That causes a reflection. So this U is going to be upside down when we're done. All right, so if we're going left 4, down 4, that's going to be our vertex. Left 4, down 4. So when you get your chart going, -4, -4, you want to put that in the middle of your chart and then build off of it from there. Then you'll go to your calculator, go to the table, and you'll enter in the function here. Tell it to start at -4, and you'll have your values for you. When you're done, it should look like this. All right, so it'll be upside down. I want you to flip to number 5 and number 6. Notice on number 5 and on number 6, it's not in vertex form. I can't just look at it and know which way it's going. So on problems like this, where there are no parentheses with the square term on it, we're going to have to find x using this formula right here, -b/2a. All right, that's going to set you up for your chart for graphing. Okay, so let's go over here. Our a is -1, A is whatever's attached to the x squared term. Our b is -2, that's attached to just the x. And then the constant number without a variable is -3. So coming back to this formula here, we want to do the opposite of what b was in our problem. So the opposite of -2 is a +2. Then you've got 2 times a is a -1. So 2 divided by 2 times -1, you can type that into your calculator, or maybe you're real good at that mental math. This comes out as -1. That is where we're going to start on our table. Notice we don't know what the y is. On the problems that we just did on the other side, we knew just by looking. But now we've got to type it in to figure out this piece as well as all the rest. Grab that calculator and let's type this equation in. You've got a negative, so I'm going to mash the negative button down here. X squared minus 2x minus 3. Tell it to start at -1. Sorry, this song is epic. Whew. Calculate. All right, so it looks like our vertex is -1, -2. Some points that are under that would be 0, -3. 1, -6. Arrow up. You've got -2 and -3. And -3, -6. Notice it's repeating on that y-axis, which is a good sign because we've got these U shapes. All right, plot. So left 3, down 6. Left 2, down 3. Left 1, down 2. 0, -3. 1, -6. All right, there's your U. Epic. All right, let me get you started on number 6 here. To figure out where we're going to start in the chart, we go to this formula, -b over 2a. The a is -2. The b is -12. The c is -21. So using that to go to this formula, we've got the opposite of b, which is +12, over 2 times -2. All right, so if you type that in, or maybe do some mental math, 12 divided by -4 is -3. So in your chart here, all right, that's where we're going to tell our calculator to start at -3, and then we'll get all the other details that we need. So on the calculator, head on over to the table and edit that function in. Most of you have the yellow calculators, and instead of f of x, it says y. Same thing. So you type it in -2x squared minus 12x minus 21. Tell it to start at -3 and calculate. So we have -3, -3, -2, -5, -1, -11. And I'm going to arrow up to grab 2 more values. So -4, -5, -5, -11. Time to graph. All right. Once you graph it, it should look like this. All right. So you do number 7, 8. Flip back to the other side and also do 3 and 4. Check your answers on the blog, and I'll see you tomorrow.